chair recognizes the Sergeant at Arms.
I have the honor to announce the arrival of the Senate of the state of Minnesota.
The Sergeant at Arms will escort the members of the Senate to the front of the chamber. The Joint Convention will come to order. Members, please take your seats. Prayer by the chaplain.
Good morning. This is a beautiful day. These are days why we live in Minnesota for, right? And I pray that we have many more of them, although that's not the end of my prayer. Almighty God, we understand that the decisions that are made in this building will influence the lives of almost 6 million people who live in our great state. We know that the weightiness of our calling drives us with a desperation to call on you. We ask you for wisdom and understanding to lead effectively. We ask you for humility to serve selflessly. And we ask you for vision to see what is possible when we agree, and also to see the solutions to the issues thought to be impossible when we disagree. May we see in our day your mercy triumph over judgment, your peace triumph over our frustrations, your provision triumph over poverty, and freedom triumph over slavery and human trafficking. May we see the power of your love and forgiveness triumph over racism and hate and division. May we remember that you are the one that said, "To whom will you compare me? Or who is my equal? Lift up your eyes and look to the heavens. Who created all these? He who brings out the starry hosts one by one and calls each of them by name. Because of his mighty power and great strength, not one of them is missing. So why do you complain, O Jacob? And why would you say, O Israel, my way is hidden from the Lord, or my cause is disregarded by my God? Do you not know and have you not heard that the Lord is the everlasting God, the creator of the ends of the earth, and he doesn't grow tired or weary? And of his understanding no one can fathom. But he gives strength to the weary. He gives power to the faint. Even the youth will grow tired and weary. Young men will stumble and fall. But they that put their hope in you will renew their strength, and they'll mount up with wings as eagles and run and not grow weary and walk and not faint. So, Lord, I pray for your tangible grace and presence to fill this marvelous and wonderful, great state that we live in. I pray this in your wonderful and beautiful name. Amen.
The chaplain for the Joint Convention is Pastor Mike Smith from Redeeming Love Lutheran Church, Maplewood, Minnesota, and the chaplain for the Minnesota Senate. The secretary will call the roll.
Abler. Abler here. Anderson P. Anderson here. Anderson P.
Mr. President.
Recognize Senator Gazelka.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that further proceedings on the roll call be dispensed with.
Senator Gazelka moves that further proceedings under the roll be dispensed with. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The motion prevails. Quorum is present. Members of the Joint Convention, our charge today is to elect a candidate to the Board of Regents of the University of Minnesota as follows. One regent from the 1st Congressional District. A communication from the Joint Legislative Committee relating to the Board of Regents.
Speaker Doubt, Majority Leader Gazelka, and Minority Leaders Hortman and Bach. Pursuant to Minnesota Statutes 2017, Section 137.0246, Subdivision 2, and Joint Rule of the House and Senate 4.01, the Joint Legislative Committee met on May 7, 2018 to consider candidates for a vacancy on the University of Minnesota Board of Regents. The Joint Legislative Committee allowed all candidates who submitted applications to the Legislative Coordinating Commission an opportunity to address the Joint Committee and respond to questions. After hearing from all candidates, the Joint Legislative Committee voted according to the Joint Rules of Procedure. Based on a unanimous vote from the members of the Joint Legislative Committee, we respectfully recommend the following names to the Joint Convention. 1st Congressional District, Mary Davenport and Brooks Edwards. Respectfully submitted, Michelle Fischbach, co-chair of the Joint Legislative Committee, and Representative Bud Nornis, co-chair of the Joint Legislative Committee.
A copy of the letter has been provided to all members of the Joint Convention. Pursuant to the joint rules, the people listed in this communication are considered to be nominated. I recognize Senator Fischbach to explain the communication.
Mr. President, it is an accurate communication. We did meet, and after several ballots, we entertained a motion to send these two names onto the floor, and it was a unanimous consent to do that. So these two names are a nomination. Thank you.
Nominations are now in order for the 1st Congressional District Regent seat for the remainder of the 6-year term. Are there any further nominations? The member from Dakota, Representative Christensen.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I nominate Dr. Randy Simonson.
Representative Christensen nominates Dr. Randy Simonson. Are there any further nominations? Are there any further nominations? Any further nominations? If there are no further nominations, I declare nominations closed. Members, as we vote, I will enforce the order on the floor so that our staff can hear the roll call and your votes. The state constitution requires that the roll call must be called by a voice vote. The secretary will now call the roll on the election of a candidate for the 1st Congressional District. As a reminder, the eligible candidates are Mary Davenport, Brooks Edwards, and Randy Simonson.
Abler. Abler votes Davenport. Anderson B. Anderson B votes Simonson. Anderson P. Anderson P votes Simonson. Bach. Bach votes Edwards. Benson. Benson votes Simonson. Bigham. Bigham votes Davenport. Carlson. Carlson votes Davenport. Chamberlain. Chamberlain votes Simonson. Champion. Champion votes Davenport. Clausen. Clausen pass. Cohen. Cohen votes Edwards. Swadzinski. Swadzinski votes Davenport. Dames. Dames votes Simonson. Dibble. Dibble votes Davenport. Draheim. Draheim pass. Diedzik. Diedzik pass. Eaton. Eaton votes Davenport. Eichhorn. Eichhorn votes Simonson. Eakin. Eakin votes Davenport. Fischbach. Fischbach votes Simonson. Franson. Franson. What did she say? Senator Franson? Franson votes Davenport. Friends. Friends votes Davenport. Gazelka. Gazelka votes Simonson. Goggin. Goggin votes Simonson. Hall. Hall votes Simonson. Herr. Herr votes Davenport. Hayden. Hayden votes Davenport. Hoffman. Hoffman votes Davenport. Housley. Housley votes Simonson. Ingebrigtsen. Ingebrigtsen votes Simonson. Isaacson. Isaacson votes Davenport. Jasinski. Jasinski votes Simonson. Jensen. Jensen votes Edwards. Johnson. Johnson votes Simonson. Kent. Kent votes Davenport. Kiffmeyer. Kiffmeyer votes Simonson. Klein. Klein votes Edwards. Curran. Curran votes Simonson. Lane. Lane pass. Lang. Lang votes Simonson. Latz. Latz votes Edwards. Limmer. Limmer votes Simonson. Little. Little votes Davenport. Laurie. Laurie votes Davenport. Marty. Marty votes Davenport. Matthews. Matthews votes Simonson. Miller. Miller votes Simonson. Nelson. Nelson votes Edwards. Newman. Newman votes Simonson. Newton. Newton votes Davenport. Osmick. Osmick votes Simonson. Pappas. Pappas votes Edwards. Pratt. Pratt votes Simonson. Ralph. Ralph votes Simonson. Rest. Rest votes Davenport. Rosen. Rosen votes Davenport. Rude. Rude votes Edwards. Senjum. Senjum votes Edwards. Simonson. Simonson votes Davenport. Sparks. Sparks votes Davenport. Tomasoni. Tomasoni votes Edwards. Torres Ray. Torres Ray votes Edwards. Utke. Utke votes Simonson. Weber. Weber votes Simonson. Westrom. Westrom votes Edwards. Uyghur. Uyghur votes Davenport. Wickland. Wickland votes Davenport. Albright. Albright votes Simonson. Allen, excused. Anderson P. Anderson P votes Simonson. Anderson S. Anderson S votes Simonson. Anselmo. Anselmo votes Brooke. Anselmo votes Edwards. Applebaum, excused. Backer? Backer votes Simonson. Bar C? Bar C votes Simonson. Baker? Baker votes Simonson. Bar R? Bar R votes Simonson. Becker Finn, excused. Bennett? Bennett votes Davenport. Bernardi? Bernardi votes Davenport. Bliss, excused. Bly? Bly votes Davenport. Carlson A? Carlson A votes Davenport. Carlson L? Carlson L votes Davenport. Christensen? Christensen votes Simonson. Clark? Clark votes Davenport. Considine? Considine votes Davenport. Daniels? Daniels votes Simonson. Davids? Davids votes Davenport. Davney? Davney votes Davenport. Dean M? Dean M votes Simonson. Dean R? Dean R votes Davenport. Detmer? Detmer votes Simonson. Drazkowski? Drazkowski votes Simonson. Eklund? Eklund votes Davenport. Erickson? Erickson votes Simonson. Fabian? Fabian votes Simonson. Fenton? Fenton votes Simonson. Fisher? Fisher votes Davenport. Flanagan? Flanagan votes Davenport. Frankie? Frankie votes Simonson. Franzen? Franzen votes Simonson. Freiberg? Freiberg votes Davenport. Garofalo? Garofalo votes Simonson. Green? Green votes Simonson. Grossel? Grossel votes who's that? Simonson. Gruenhagen? Gruenhagen votes Simonson. Gunther? Gunther votes Davenport. Haley? What? Haley votes Edwards. Halverson? Halverson votes Davenport. Hamilton? Hamilton votes Simonson. Hanson? Hanson votes Davenport. Hausman? Hausman votes Davenport. Heinzeman? Heinzeman votes Simonson. Hertos? Hertos votes Simonson. Hillstrom? Hillstrom votes Davenport. Hoppy? Hoppy votes Simonson. Hornstein? Hornstein votes Edwards. Hortman? Hortman votes Davenport. Howe? Howe votes Simonson. Jessup? Jessup votes Simonson. Johnson B? Johnson B. Simonson. Johnson C? Johnson C. votes Davenport. Johnson S. excused. Jurgens? Jurgens votes Simonson. Keel? Keel votes Simonson. Knobloch? Knobloch votes Simonson. Cagle? Cagle votes Davenport. Kosnick? Kosnick votes Simonson. Creshaw, excused. Kunish-Podine? Kunish-Podine votes Davenport. Lehman? Lehman votes Simonson. Lee? Lee votes Davenport. Lesh? Lesh votes Davenport. Liebling? Liebling pass. Lean? Lean votes Davenport. Lilly, excused. Loeffler? Loeffler votes Davenport. Lohmer? Lohmer votes Simonson. Loon? Loon votes Simonson. Lunan? Lunan votes Simonson. Lucero? Lucero votes Simonson. Lewick? Lewick votes Simonson. Mahoney? Mahoney? Mahoney. Mariani, excused. Mariani's here. Okay. Mariani, Davenport. Markwart. Markwart, Davenport. Mason. Mason, Davenport. Mayquade. Mayquade, Davenport. McDonald. McDonald, Simonson, Metza. Metza, Davenport, Miller. Miller, Simonson, Moran. Moran, Davenport, Munson. Munson, Simonson, Murphy E. Murphy E. Davenport, Murphy M. Murphy M. Davenport, Nash. Nash, Simonson, Nelson. Nelson, Davenport, New. New, Simonson, Newberger. Newberger, Simonson, Nornis. Nornis, Simonson, O'Driscoll. O'Driscoll, Simonson, Olson. Olson, Davenport. Omar, excused. O'Neill. O'Neill, Simonson, Pulowski. Pulowski, Davenport. Pepin. Pepin, Simonson. Petersburg. Petersburg, Simonson. Peterson. Peterson, Simonson. Pearson. Pearson, Edwards. Pinto. Pinto, Davenport. Poppy. Poppy, Davenport. Poston. Poston, Simonson. Pryor. Pryor, Davenport. Pugh. Pugh, Simonson. Quam. Quam, Simonson. Rarick. Rarick, Simonson. Rosenthal. Rosenthal, pass. Runbeck. Runbeck, Simonson. Sandsted. Sandsted, Davenport. Salk. Salk, Davenport. Schumacher. Schumacher, Simonson. Schultz. Schultz, Davenport. Scott. Scott, Simonson. Slocum, excused. Smith. Smith, Simonson. Sundin. Sundin, Davenport. Swazinski. Swazinski, Simonson. Tice. Tice, Simonson. Torkelson. Torkelson, Simonson. Joachim. Or Uglum. Uglum. Uglum, Simonson. Erdahl. Erdahl, Simonson. Vogel. Vogel, Simonson. Wagenius. Wagenius, Davenport. Ward. Ward, Davenport. West. West, Simonson. Whalen. Whalen, Simonson. Wills. Wills, Simonson. Joachim. Joachim, Davenport. Zerwas. Zerwas, Davenport. President Doubt. Zerwas, Edwards. Is that okay? President Doubt. President Doubt, Simonson. Okay, we got to go back and pass. We got to go back.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker. Tomasoni.
Senator Tomasoni, we're not quite done with the roll yet.
Okay.
For what purpose do you rise?
Because Tomasoni changes from Edwards to Davenport.
Tomasoni changes from Edwards to Davenport.
Tomasoni changes from Edwards.
Pappas changes from Edwards to Davenport.
Write him down.
Klein changes from Edwards to Davenport.
Mr. Speaker, Liebling votes Davenport.
Members, let us finish the roll first. There are quite a few members that passed.
But let me call it passed. Now, the secretary will call the members that passed.
The secretary will call the members that passed.
Clausen. Clausen. Clausen votes Davenport. Draheim. Draheim votes Simonson. Diedzik. Diedzik votes Davenport. Lane. Lane votes Davenport. Liebling. Liebling votes Davenport. Mahoney. 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 Rosenthal. 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 Davenport. You should just write those changes down.
Mr. President?
Here comes Omar.
I'll call out Omar. She's walking in. Omar. Omar votes Davenport. Just write them down.
Senator.
Okay.
Senator Latz switches from Edwards to Davenport. Just want to make sure they have time to catch up. Senator Westrom. Westrom switches from Edwards to Simonson. Senator Senjum.
Mr. Speaker, Senjum switches from Edwards to Simonson.
Senjum switches from Edwards to Simonson. Senator Torres-Ray. Senator Torres-Ray switches from Edwards to Davenport.
Mr. President?
Senator Bach. Senator Bach switches from Edwards to Davenport. Senator. Senator Jensen switches from Edwards to Simonson.
Mr. President?
Representative Hornstein.
Hornstein switches from Edwards to Davenport.
Representative Hornstein switches from Edwards to Davenport. Senator Nelson. Nelson switches from Edwards to Simonson. Senator Rood. Senator Rood switches from Edwards to Simonson. Representative Haley. Representative Haley switches from Edwards to Simonson. Representative Pearson. Representative Pearson switches from Edwards to Simonson. Representative Anselmo. Representative Anselmo switches from Edwards to Simonson. Representative Zerwas switches from Edwards to Simonson. Are there any others? I hereby declare the roll call closed and request the secretary to tally the vote. Members, the vote totals are as follows. Mary Davenport, 86. Brooks Edwards, 1. Randy Simonson, 104. Dr. Randy Simonson from the 1st Congressional District, having received a majority of the votes cast, has been elected to the Board of Regents for the remainder of the 6-year term. I now recognize Senator Gazelka.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the joint convention do now adjourn.
Senator Gazelka moves that the joint convention do now adjourn. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The motion prevails and the joint convention is now adjourned. The House will come to order. Representative Pepin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move a recess to the call of the chair until approximately 1 p.m. Republican members, we will caucus immediately in our caucus room.
Representative Hortman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Representative Pepin. DFL members will caucus immediately upon the recess as well.
Representative Pepin moves a recess to the call of the chair until approximately 1 p.m. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The motion prevails and the House stands in recess to the call of the chair until approximately 1 p.m.